Hey everybody, it's Glidercat and it's time to play. Today we're getting back into Boppio. Now I had a video on this a little earlier, just a quick first glance, first impression type video, not much gameplay, and I've been wanting to get back into it, so here we are. I should mention at the top that I did get a review key from the developer, and that's allowed me to provide this content for you. I know the developer is hoping to get more people enrolled in the playtest and maybe participating in the Discord and just getting some feedback on the game to help him develop it and shape it. So you've got a good opportunity if you want to help shape this game to hop on the Discord. Um, so yeah, definitely check that out. You can also wishlist this on Steam now. It's not available for purchase yet. And you can also sign up for that playtest I mentioned on Steam. So let's get started. I'm just going to fire up a new game. And I'm just going to call it, let's see. How about preview? And maybe, I don't know, 112, something like that. All right, here we go. Let's jump on in. All right, here we go. We have the same starting location we did last time. So I'm going to do things a little bit different than I did last time. So I'm just going to hit the E key. I'm kind of over explain what I'm doing here too, just so you get a feel for it. If you do get into the playtest, I'm just hitting the E key for interact. And I'm going to first drop some basic miners here. I'll put one down here on top of the iron ore. And then I'm also going to put one down on the copper ore. And I think last time we started out by putting a miner down on the coal ore. And if we look in the crafting menu, I only had the resources available to do two starting miners because they take ingots and we just used them all up. So last time we did coal so that we'd have fuel for these things, and then we had to take the coal miner off and stuff. Well, there's another fuel source here that's just hovering all around us, and it's these trees. And if I right click on the tree and hold it, now I'm cutting down some trees. So I'm going to grab a few trees and then we'll head back to those miners and we can use this wood as the initial fuel to get us drilling and get us those initial copper and iron bars that we can then use to make a third miner. And then we'll slap that one on top of the coal. So let's just get this started. I'm going to grab a few trees here. Again, I'm just walking up to them and right clicking. And we'll head back to our miners. So let's go into the iron miner. I'm just going to right click on the stack of wood here, and that's going to take half. I'll drop it into fuel, and that guy will get mining. We'll do the same thing here. And now I think we can build also. We've got starting resources. We've got an extra 20 stone that we start the game with. So let's build a couple of these furnaces since they only take stone. We've got enough to build two. I'll place them kind of in line with our mining drills because eventually we're going to run those tubes between these things to transport the materials. I'll escape out of the build menu, and these guys are going to need fuel too. So let's go chop some more trees. So yeah, I've been meaning to play this for a while. I've got kind of several games I'm working on right now on the channel, and so it's hard because I like every game that I'm featuring on the channel, but it's hard finding the time to play them all. So I am glad to get back into this, and hopefully we can churn out a few episodes. I know there's a new, another big build that's going to be on its way, but we've got a little time before that is going to make its debut. So I figure, well, let's get a few episodes out on the current build and take the gameplay a little bit farther because we really only scratched the surface in that first look video. That was just kind of almost like a teaser, almost like a trailer, just to help you get aware of the game and then maybe give you something to look at in case this is something you want to wish list. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grab half the stack of fuel and slap it in each of these furnaces, and then I'll go fetch the ore. And like a lot of these games, you have to start out, kind of manually carrying these resources around. If I shift click on the ore, I think I mentioned that last time, it just puts it straight in your inventory. So we'll take advantage of that. And then this furnace, we'll make this the iron furnace since it kind of lines up. And I'll pop the iron ore in here again. I can just shift click and there it goes. And we'll do the same thing here for our copper furnace. Shift click. Good to go. While these guys are busy, let's build the last thing we can. And it doesn't take any resources as of yet. So let's drop the habitat. You might remember from the first episode, that's how we do our research. We can't walk into the building, at least not yet. It'd be cool if you could at some point. You can see there's a little chessboard set up in there, and it looks like a bunch of little coffee cups or something, a coffee pot. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the bedroom. I can't see inside, and some kind of control panel thing in here. So the detail is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So to get to the technology, we can either just let's see. We can. How do we do that? I think we just hit the T key. So that shows our tech tree. I'm going to go ahead and select the item transport. These are the tubes that we'll use instead of like conveyor belts. So I'm just going to get that research selected and hit start. And now we're going to have to supply the iron ingots and the copper ingots in order to complete that research. And then I think we mentioned last time too that the habitat offers a few storage spots as well. Looks like 10. All right, let's go shepherd some resources around here. Let's empty out the mines. They still have plenty of fuel with that wood. I'm going to grab the bars and pop in more. Let's see which one I'm in. Yeah, more iron for this guy. And I'm going to steal these bars. And I'm going to pop in more copper. And now for the bars that I've got, I'm going to go place that miner on the coal and get that guy started. And I might need to chop a tree just to prime the pump here and get this guy started mining. So let's do that. I'll escape out of there. Let's go fetch a tree. Probably only need one, literally, just to get the coal miner going, started. Once it starts mining, it'll feed itself coal. So let's give that a shot and see what happens. Boom, start them off with 5 logs. And we'll do a little more harvesting here. Whoops, this guy needs more fuel. So we'll go fetch coal in a second and fuel these miners back up. I'll grab the bars out. And again, this one is the iron. So we'll pop the iron in. And then here we'll take out those copper bars and we'll pop in some more copper. These guys have a little bit more starting fuel. Let's go check on our coal mine. All right, we've got some coal. We'll see when that wood exhausts itself, if it fuels itself, like I said, or if it proves me wrong, but I'm pretty sure it fuels itself. Let's take this whole stack and put that in there. All right, so we've got our initial little mining set up. We've got 3 mines. We've got copper or coal here, which we're mainly going to use for fuel. There it goes. It's fueling itself. And we're going to use that to fuel everything else here in the pipeline. In fact, let's see how these guys are doing. They have more fuel. So let's pop, let's put half of this in there, and we'll take the other half and pop that in the copper miner. And I should have harvested the resources while I'm doing this. And we won't have to do this manual harvesting for long. We just need to get that research done. And then we can put up tubes to transport the materials between these different machines. So let's do this. This one is the rest of the copper. All right, let's go and see if we can pop some bars in here. So we've got 33 of those. It only takes 30, and 31 of those, and it only takes 30. So now our research is happening. And we can take a look. If I hit the T key, we can see in the top left, we get a progress bar here showing that we are researching item transport 1. That will be super useful. And we won't have to do so much manual hauling. I guess we just take, why don't we take steam power and get that started. And I can just left click here and drag on the screen to see our tech tree. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to expand out. We'll take it as far as we can with this build. So steam power takes 10 ingots of copper and 10 ingots of the iron. Let's just go ahead and hit start research, and then we can go see if we can do our piping. So it's been a little while since I've played. I just selected the pipe out of my inventory. I'm going to click on the miner, and I'm going to bridge that guy off to the furnace, and then I'll hit escape to end that. Go back to my inventory, transport tube, click on the miner, and then click on the furnace. So those two guys are hooked up. I'll escape out of that. And then I think I wanted to try something. Last time I hooked up the coal mine to the iron miner, and then I had a separate connection from the coal mine to the copper miner. I want to see if we can just pipe the coal to the iron miner and then pipe the iron miner straight into the copper miner and see if that coal finds its way to all of these machines down here just with the one tube. Let's give it a shot. Who knows? It could break the game for all I know. It's very early access. It's not even early access. It's just a very early in its development game. I'm just going to try it for giggles. And again, in this series, we may break things. We're probably going to uncover some bugs. We'll work around them where we can, but where we can't, we may have to start up a new game. If that happens, maybe I'll do some of the initial building, any kind of construction that we lost. Maybe I'll do that in a fast forward or jump cut or something and get us back to roughly where we were. But I do want to see if I can take this game to the end of its content. So let's see. These guys are still burning their wood, so we're not going to be able to know if that coal is making it all the way through for a while yet. But now it looks like at least the ore is coming through. We can see that. Ore is coming through to both furnaces, so we can just harvest bars now, and that's going to speed things up. We can drop these off at our habitat, and that should be more than enough to complete the research we selected, which was, I believe, like the steam power. Let's hit T, take a look. All right, we're researching the steam power. And then soon we'll get into item transport 2. Okay, those are hubs, I think. Does it say? Allows the hub to be constructed. I'm looking at the left hand of the screen there. And item assembly allows the assembly machine to be constructed. Let's try item assembly next. This is going to take iron plates, so we're probably going to have to do some handcrafting of those because I don't think we've got a way to do that yet. But let's go ahead and start that research. It's going to require 50 copper ingots. And these guys are all kind of on autopilot right now. And I am, again, anxious to see if once this wood burns out, if we get coal. But I'll just let it run. Or why don't I just take that wood out of there and let's see if a coal finds its way through. There's a little nugget. So let's see. Oh, here's a whole bunch, right? So here's a whole stream of coal. I'm guessing that's going to find its way into the furnace here. And it looks like it is. So there it goes. Cool. So that is a dynamic that I have not seen in other games. So a bit of innovation there. Don't have to worry about setting up logic blocks to say, oh, route it this way and that way, or splitters and all that kind of stuff. It looks like there's some logic built in the game to route these materials where they are most needed. Cool. All right. I'm going to grab this inventory, and I know we need lots of bars, so let me grab those. Let me open up my inventory and see if I can craft some of these plates. Now, I think we needed 5 of these. Each one looks like it takes 5 iron ingots. So if I just left click on these, let's see. Okay, item assembly. Let's see. I got to hold it down. So if I hold the left mouse button down, or the primary mouse button, however you have your mouse configured, if I hold it down, then it is churning out these plates and just doing some handcrafting. So I think all we needed was 5 plates for the next research that we targeted. So let me head back to the habitat. Click on that. We got plenty of ingots of copper. We needed 50, and I think we just need 5 here. Boom. All right, I'll hit T again just to check on our progress. And we are going to have item assembly. And hopefully we can use those to craft the iron plates that we're going to need. And it looks like this guy down here needs logic boards. So there's probably a couple steps in building those. It says provides simple automation functionality to some buildings used in crafting. And then if we do a little sneak peek here over to the right, we've got logic boards, Steel we're going to need to craft. And that's about it. So we'll see how much more there is, but we're going to chase this tech tree down in this series and see how far we can take it. I'll harvest some more ingots while we're waiting, or bars, I should say. I don't know, what are we calling these here? We're calling them ingots. All right. Zoom out a little. I had somebody ask about the map in a comment to the first look video we did, or that early preview video. So I'm just going to walk south here just so you can see the map is going to keep growing. It's kind of one of those virtually infinite maps. This is kind of cool. I like this lily pad look here and flowers on the edge of the water. I think that's kind of a neat little detail. Those are like flowering lily pads. What's a little tricky is now I'm not sure how to, so I'm zooming all the way in here and I'm zooming all the way out. So I'd like to be able to zoom out further, and then you can also lose your place a little bit as to where you were. So that's why I'm going just straight south, but just to show you that the map does open up. And then you can see on the map here, if you look, I'm able to actually, that's a little tricky. There's a coal mine here. I was going to say you can hover over the map and see the resources, but I just happen to have a coal deposit underneath the resource, underneath the map. But yeah, on the map, you can, I was just going to point out, you can see where the ore deposits are and go chase after those. But let's head back up. I think our research is probably done, or it is done on the assembler. It's showing us in the top left that we've got our item assembly research completed. So let's head up top back to our factory, our little baby factory here that we're getting started. And we're off to a good start. I'm going to steal these bars just to make sure that everybody keeps on producing. I don't need to worry about fuel. That's all fairly automated. We just need to start assembling things. So I'm just going to hit T to pick the next research. And let's see. Space assembly. Cool. Steel power pole. And expanded storage. Or item transport 2. Let's just kind of follow the progression here. And we'll do item transport 2. It doesn't take much. It takes 40 iron plates. And it takes 20 logic boards. Let's go. We're going to need those for everything else anyway. So let's go ahead and set out to automate those. So I'll just click start research, but we're not going to provide any materials just yet. Let's try our hand with the assemblers. I have not used them yet. So let's see what they take first. They take 4 steel and 2 logic boards. So it looks like we're going to have to do some handcrafting. We also have a steam engine that we unlocked. It says when this building is placed in the water, it converts coal to power by boiling water to produce steam. I can't stand the taste of burnt water. Anyway, 25 iron ingots and 35 copper ingots. That we can make pretty easily. And the habitat we've already deployed, so you can probably only build 1. I'm guessing that's why that's shaded out. And we've actually got wooden power poles here. Allow you to provide power to buildings from power sources. And I think the research, let's just check. I thought there was another power thing here. Steel power poles. Okay. So maybe these guys go further. Allows the steel power pole to be constructed. So we'll have to try that out when we get there. Back to what we were doing, trying to craft these assembly machines. So let's see what it's going to take. We need 4 steel and 2 logic boards. Let's see what the logic boards take. Looks like 2 iron ingots and 10 copper wire. So I'm going to hold down here and get myself 10 copper wire. And we can craft one of these guys real quick. Logic board. Those craft pretty fast, actually. And then what else did we need? We need 2 of those logic boards. So let's go grab 10 more of these guys. Again, just holding down the primary mouse button. Very cool. And let's get our logic board. And now it's time for the steel beams, I think, right? What do we need? 4 of those. Imagine that takes ingots and coal. Cool. Interesting. All right. Well, let's go fetch our let's go fetch more ingots while we're at it so we have them on hand. We'll keep these furnaces and miners busy, and then we'll see if we can swipe some coal out of here. Boom. I just took out the entire inventory of that. So if I jump into crafting menu, we need, again, 4 steel. Let's hold this guy down. These craft a little bit longer. They take a little bit of time. Very cool. All right, we've got our first assembly machine. This assembles items into new items. We probably want to think through for a second what we want to do here. We know we need steel plate. Well, let's just look at the tech tree. We know we need iron plates, and that's going to take an assembler machine. We know we need the logic boards, and those actually take the wire that we're going to need to assemble. First, let's see. I'm sorry, let me go back to the crafting menu. I just want to see what the wire just takes copper ingots, and these guys take copper wire and iron ingots. So I'm just trying to think through what we want to build first. Maybe logic boards. We've got a few things that require logic boards on the research tree. So let's set out to automate that stuff. Logic boards is just the wire from the copper. So let's just do that. This may not be the prettiest factory early on, but we'll see. And I can rotate. Let's see, rotate. I'm not sure how to rotate the building. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just looking at the GUI for any hints. R, I'm using R. I'm using Q. Q did not work. So we'll have to come back to that later. I'm not sure how you rotate them. I'm trying the scroll wheel. I'm trying the R key. Those are usually the two, or Q and E, but none of those seem to work. So let's just drop this guy down. Boom. And let's start by building the wire. So I'm going to run a tube from our copper furnace, and it connects over there. See, that's why I'd like to rotate it. I know there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Let me, I'm going to pause here for a second and just see if I can look that up. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I just hopped on the Discord, the Boppio Discord. You can do that too if you've got questions. But it looks like for this build, we don't have a way to rotate buildings just yet. So I was looking in vain. Anyway, we are good. We've set that up. Now let's see if we have to pick a recipe on this guy. It looks like we do. And we said we wanted to do logic boards first. So let's go ahead and do copper wire. That's the first ingredient we're going to need. And what is this? Oh, power. I guess we got to go build that. We got to go build that steam engine. All right. If that was what it's called. Let's see. It is called steam engine. Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So 35 iron ingots and 35 copper ingots. Once again, I'm going to harvest our ingots. Just have them in my inventory. We can also, again, use the inventory on our habitat. We've got 10 slots there if we want to store stuff. And I think in the research tree, we saw that there is expanded storage here coming kind of on the bottom right there. All right, let's go to our water source here and see if we can build and place a steam engine and then run some more coal, maybe off the same miner. Not sure if I want to run. Well, we could try it, or maybe drop another miner over here. And that makes maybe a little bit more sense. So let's select it. It looks like I can build it. And let's put it in the green. How about, that was fine, right? Pop that right there. Pretty cool looking building. Nice. I like it. I like it. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Pretty shiny. All right. Let's see. What does this guy need? I'll just left click on him and see what he needs. Okay, he needs some fuel. And he's going to generate power. And instead of hand carrying that coal over, let's do what I was just mentioning. Let's pop another miner down. I have the resource to do it. Or coal. And then let's run a tube over there. Escape out of this guy, back into the build menu. Just kind of mouse over where the miner is. And I wait for a tip to show up. I'm sure in the future, the GUI will make this a little bit clearer that you're connected, but I just kind of wait until I see the pop-up. Then I do a primary click. And once you start moving, you'll see the hose or the tube be created. So let's pop that guy there. And I'll escape out of the build menu. And hopefully we'll see some coal shooting over there. Oh, this guy needs some something to get him started, right? Let's just grab. I wonder if I can grab one. I can right click. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. But I just want to put one little nugget of coal in there to get it started. And then we'll save this coal in case we need it to craft steel plates or something by hand. All right, so here goes our little coal nuggets, as I call them, heading over to our steam power plant or steam engine. We'll see this guy fire up here in a second. There he goes. Boom. And now we're going to need to leverage that other building component we haven't used yet. Ooh, and it takes resource too. Let's see. Oh, here's where we need wood. Boy, we can't automate wood. Maybe that's why the steel beams are on the research tree. At least I don't see a way of automating the wood. So we're going to have to grab some wood to make these power poles. I've got plenty of copper ingots on me. Let's go chop a couple trees. I've got 7 wood on me, but I know we're going to need more than that. Let's grab some trees in the area. I'm just going to head kind of straight east here. And again, to chop these guys down, it's the right mouse button or your secondary mouse button. Looks like there's 2 trees here. Well, let's grab a few more while we're at it. You can see him swinging the axe there. Let's grab a few more. They're right real close. Might as well have them. And then maybe we'll save this wood just for, we won't use it for fuel. We'll use the coal for fuel and just use this wood for the power poles. And then eventually we'll get the steel power poles and we'll see how that goes. All right, boom. We got ourselves some wood. Let's see, we've got 42 logs there. And now we need to run power from our new steam engine, which is firing away here on all cylinders. That looks pretty sweet. Let's see, I'm not sure if I can change the view. I'm trying to swivel here so we can see it from the side. It doesn't look like it is. And I see destroying transport tube. I'm not sure what I did there. Maybe that was from right clicking. I think that's from me right clicking to, okay, so I can't seem to get rid of that menu. Let's go ahead and see if we can put down a power pole. And, ooh, now is that the range? Let's experiment. Let's put it outside the range of the steam engine and see if we can still connect it. And how you connect it, I'm guessing, is the wire, but I don't know for sure. Let's craft some wire and see if it works kind of like the tubes. Let's grab 10 of these while we're at it. We've got plenty of copper ingots and we can always fetch more. In fact, those furnaces may have full inventories now. Now let's see, how do I do wire here? I can craft it. Let's see. Now if I wooden power pole. Now this is going to take some experimenting because I have no idea how to do it. Let me grab another power pole. Okay, power poles allow you to provide power from buildings to buildings from power sources. I crafted one. Let's see if I can remember how to destruct things. Is it the right click? Okay, so I got rid of that. It didn't leave it in my inventory. So when you drop these, it's build as you go. Now let's see if this time I'm going to build it in so the pole of the steam engine is in the green region. Let's see if it connects up automatically. It does. So at least in this stage of the game's development, you're not going to run the wires yourself, it looks like. You're just going to make sure that as you're dropping power poles, you're keeping them in range of the previous one. And I think, isn't that the way Factorial works? It's been a while since I played Factorial. I'll have to play some of that and get that on the channel. It's been a long time since I've played that game. All right, so I'm just running these power poles down. It's a good thing I chopped that wood. We're probably going to need more. Boom. Okay, I just powered up my habitat. I'm not sure if that's needed or not, but probably can't hurt. And then now looks like our assembler is in range, and he got hooked up there too. Okay, escape to get out of the build menu. Okay, so this is cool. Look at this. It looks like each power pole has possibly 4 connectors. So that looks kind of sweet. If what I'm seeing is true, that's a pretty cool way of letting you know you've only got 4 connections. We'll see down the road if that's true. But that's kind of another awesome thing, because I know in a couple other factory games I'm playing, you just have to kind of know that you've only got 4, 6, or 8 connections per power pole. All right, so let's take a look at our factory now. He is waiting on copper ingots. Now he is hooked up to our copper. Oh, what's going on here? Did I put the wrong ore in? I did. I think I did. Oh, well, let's see what happens. I have an idea of what's happening here. I bet you guys can figure it out too. Can you see why all this iron's coming in here? So if I click on our copper miner, we've got plenty of fuel. We got plenty of copper ore. In fact, the inventory is blocked, right? We can't even mine anymore because of our output inventory. But our little furnace here says, I don't want to make copper. I want to make iron. And this furnace over here, somehow, this one says, I don't want to make iron. I want to make copper. So let's grab the copper out of there and the ore and see what happens. I'm just curious. So he's getting copper, and you can see how this is routing. So I guess one of the issues here that we're seeing is you can't really select the recipe on your furnace. Or no, maybe you can. Yeah, you can. I correct myself here. Let's do that. I totally missed it. So I want the furnace just south of the copper ore and the copper ore miner to do just copper ingots. So I can select, looks like I can select that in the recipe down here below. And I kind of missed that. So I've just selected that. Now let's clear out the inventory here, and hopefully we'll get just copper. Perfect. Same thing over here. Let's clean this guy out and choose. We want iron ingots on this one. It just makes sense. And so we've cleaned all that out. So now we should just get iron ingots. All right, my bad. So hopefully, being that this guy needs iron ingots, or needs copper ingots, and he's connected to the copper, now I'm expecting these to flow into my assembler. And I don't see, it looks like he's not getting power, right? It says power 0%. So let's check our power poles and see if we're missing something. Everything looks connected. Everything looks connected. We're generating power. We are connected up. I'm assuming the fact that this is going to this doesn't matter. I could be wrong. Maybe they need to be connected. So I'm just clicking on the power pole. There's really, it doesn't look like there's anything to do. This may be showing, though, that it's not getting power. Let's click on this one, and let's click on this one. This guy's producing power. So there's something we're missing here on the power poles. I'm going to right click on the power pole and just delete this one. And I'm going to delete this one too and drop another one and see if we can figure out why we're not seeing the power come through. Okay, just got constructed. Now I click on it, and I kind of have this progress bar here. I've got a red indicator, and usually there's a message here. And the power, and it's just showing no power. We're definitely generating it. And again, this is early game. And so it could be something that I'm getting wrong, or it could be something where the game just had a little bit of a glitch here. That first power pole I dropped was kind of out of range, and I'm wondering if that threw things off just by doing that. And it looks like if you don't use the power, you lose it, right? Because it's just going to keep burning fuel here. So let's see, what can we do on this guy? Power pole. Hey, well, I'll tell you what. We are at the end of this episode anyway, so this is a good time to break. Between this and the next episode, I'm going to fiddle a little bit with the power generation and see if I can't get power routed to our first assembly machine. And once I figure that out, I will share the results in the next video. So for now, I hope you're enjoying this first kind of look. It's a second look, I guess. We already did a little first preview video. But I guess I'll call this a deeper look into Boppio, another factory game that to me looks like it's got a lot of promise and a lot of potential. Let me know in the comments if you like it. If you do, please do give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. A small channel, I'm trying to grow it. And the only way I can grow it is if people subscribe and like the videos so that more people can see these. But anyway, yeah, that's it for now. This is Glidercat signing off, saying thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.